Big Beers, Belgians, and Barleywines. It's a festival that goes on every year, and this year it's almost sold out. So if you want a ticket, you might have to go to all the different liquor stores around. But I've got a couple guys that were here last night too, enjoying it. Omar, and you're with Surly Brewing Company out of Minneapolis. Welcome. Thanks for coming to the show. And Geoff, the co-founder of Alaskan Brewing and Bottling Company. You and your wife founded it together.
Yep, great to be here, and we have a lot of fun doing what we do.
Okay, what was it last night all about?
Last night was really a pairing of food with beer.
Okay.
I mean, beer has always been something that people have enjoyed, but its place on the table is epitomized by what we did last night.
Right, and this is a new kind of culinary trend in the past couple of years, is pairing beer and food together. So what kind of pairings did you really enjoy last night where you'd like to share with the people? Maybe we could do it tonight. We can reenact it at our own houses tonight.
Well, of course, this event is all about fairly big beers, and so the challenge for the chef was to get different combinations of foods that could hold their own with the beers of like Russian Imperial Stouts or smoked porters, and so we had all sorts of dishes. There was one great chowder, oyster chowder, and real rich and creamy with a lot of body, and so the beers that were paired with that had to hold up, but also kind of cleanse the palate.
Okay, yeah, because if you're going with a creamy chowder, is that correct?
Correct.
And that seems like a lot of liquid, like a chowder and a beer. You kind of have a lot of liquid going on. Was there some bread or some more solids that were paired with it?
Well, actually, beer in some annals is called flüssiges Brot, which is liquid bread.
Okay.
So the beer was the
yeast
bread.
or something? Is that why?
Well, no,
the beer was the bread.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, but also it's kind of interesting because the interplay of smoked porter, or 2008 smoked porter was paired with the oyster stew. It cleanses the palate in many ways. Even though you think of a stout as being something really heavy, it's the effervescence of the carbonation kind of just cleans that character of that rich, heavy oyster stew, and all of a sudden the second bite is almost like the first.
Okay, was that a starter?
That was the first course.
Okay, second course. Omar, what was it?
Second course. I love the third course with my favorite.
Course.
It was pork belly and paired with our smoked Baltic porter and your coffee.
Yeah, correct. Heritage coffee.
Heritage coffee.
English brown ale.
So it was great. I think it was one of the highlights of the night. So the chefs, Jay and the team at Atwater, did a great job of really of pairing these beers along with foods. We sent them the beers about a month ago so they could break it down. And that's, I think, a trend we've seen more and more, is that brewers are trying to encourage restaurateurs and chefs to pair dishes with beer just as they would normally with wine. So trying to get people into that mindset of that beer can pair just as well, if not better, with a lot of foods.
I love it. Now, I mean, are you drinking this whole beer, or do you just pour it into a little glass like that when you're serving it with food?
Oh, usually it's going to be a smaller portion,
Okay,
just because with a 5-course meal, if you're having a pint on each meal,
it's going to get really loud in that room.
It gets really loud. So and especially since these are, can be 10, 11, 12% beers, you're going to have a little bit smaller portion.
I know, I've been in trouble with these beers before. And you said big beers is what this festival is all about. So what exactly does that mean in layman's terms?
Well, it's big flavors. So it's going to be IPA, it's going to be some Belgian beers, some barley wine. So they're going to oftentimes have a little higher alcohol content, because that's going to give you some more depth to balance off some hops, some different flavors. So most of the beers at this festival are going to be a little bit stronger. So not a lot of 4% lagers. So the tastings are going to be 1 or 2 ounces, because it adds up pretty quick.
And they're going to be full of flavor, and that's really what you beer makers are really going after, correct?
Yeah, there's many levels of the flavor. The aroma obviously can come from things like smoke or the hops.
I love the smoky flavor.
Yeah, and then you have that initial impression when you take that first sip. But there's also just an amazing amount of play with the flavors, because as you consume the beer, your body warmth is also releasing additional flavors. So there's a lot of exciting things going on, and so really it's an event where you can just take time, and it really is an event of discovery.
And so today there's a big event too, and this is kind of where you get a little bit of everything. So you guys will both be highlighting your beers at the festival today at Cascade.
That's right. We both are doing some seminars, so there's seminars going on throughout the day, and then the big tasting is from, I think, 2 to 6 o'clock today. So I'd certainly encourage people, if they couldn't get into this one next year, look for it, because I think it's without a doubt my favorite beer festival in the country every year, because it's here at Vail, which is fantastic, and you get some great brewery owners and brewers from around the country, and they bring their best beers to shine. So I think for a festival this size, it's got some fantastic beers.
And it's been growing every single year, and the positive remarks that we get around the community for this festival are just really fabulous. So good job, you guys. Thanks for coming into Vail for the festival. It goes on today at the Cascade. I don't know, maybe you can like arm wrestle somebody for tickets or something like that. It's pretty much a sold out event, but there are a few liquor stores that might still have a few tickets. So give those liquor stores a call if you think. I know Beaver Liquors is one of them, and Riverwalk Wine and Spirits in Edwards. They might have a few. You guys have fun, okay?
Oh, we're good.
Have fun with the big beers. Are you going to start off with breakfast beers here?
Yeah, I think we could. Should we?
Yeah,
we only
I think
have two
we should.
glasses,
I think
though.
we
Where's
should.
yours?
That's all right. I remember what happened to me last time when that happened. It's the Big Beers, Belgians, and Barleywines.
Sure.
The festival goes on at the Cascade today. Make sure you take a taxi home and have fun and learn a lot about these big beers from these guys right here. Thanks for coming in today. We'll be right back with a little more Good Morning Vail.